Good morning. Last night I watched Cuttputlli, so I'm just going to go quickly give a review. A lot of heat coming for this movie. I would just like to give a very balanced opinion about what I felt about this movie. Firstly, I'll talk about the advantages. What are the good things about this movie? I think changing the setting to Kasoli has really worked for this movie, changing the ambience of this movie. In Ratsasan, it was set in a city, but changing the whole setting or the ambience to Kasoli, the hills, the mountains, it has a flavor of its own, and it actually helps this movie, I would say. Secondly, the supporting cast, Rishita Bhatt, Chandachur, Rakul Preet Singh, I think all of them have done a pretty good job, and they have supported Akshay quite competently in this movie, and it also lends that extra flavor or that extra kind of it adds to that, to the appeal of the movie. When you're watching Katputli, if you don't have a good supporting cast, trust me, after a while you know that what's going to happen next. So if you don't have engaging actors, you don't feel like watching the whole movie, right? I watched the whole movie at one sitting, so it definitely is kudos to the cast of this movie. They have done a good job. Thirdly, I felt the pace, the pace of Ratsasan was breakneck. I think it was cut like a complete Korean movie. The editing was done completely just like a Korean serial killer movie, you know. I think Korean serial killer movies are cut very fast. You don't even get a time to pause. If you look at Chaser, if you look at I Saw the Devil, you will notice the editing is extremely fast. It doesn't even give you a second to breathe or pause. You just like are on a roller coaster, and you won't even know till 2 hours are over. It doesn't give you that time to introspect, time to think, time to feel. It is so fast. In Katputli, I don't think anybody is saying that, but I think they have brought the pace down a little. They have brought the tempo down a bit little, because you see Ratsasan is a very very um, dear movie, to me, to my heart, and I literally know each and every one of the frame, and this movie is a complete copy of all the frames, literally. If you don't look at the kind of the setting, of course the setting is different, but it's a very very faithful adaptation or representation of the movie. But when you're looking at certain frames, when you're looking at certain cuts, you know that you've given that extra minute or that extra second to a frame, how to slow the pace down. And I think that is very very important. I think that has worked for Kotputli, because this has made it um, like this has made it more uh, like palpable for the general audience. If you ask me, if I show my mother Ratsasan, then I think she will get up after a little while. She will not watch Ratsasan, and I tried it once because it was too fast for her. But if you show Katputli, I think that older audience would probably get a little more engaged, because they still take time to register something, like what's happening. They cannot accept, like they just can't relate to things happening too fast. So I think Katputli has also succeeded in that respect, that they have brought the pace down, they have brought the tempo of the movie down, which has also worked for it. And overall, this movie is good because by and large they have copied each and every shot, literally. But of course, the changing of the setting, and even seeing Akshay Kumar as an underdog after a long time. Normally, Akshay Kumar is always playing these demigods or these Superman kind of roles. So, seeing Akshay Kumar play this kind of a role, which is a little different, and I trust me, we all love it. Like Akshay Kumar playing an underdog, when and he has underplayed all these superhuman skills and those stunts things, everything he does, which for which he's very famous. So it also looks good on Akshay when Akshay is doing his stuff in the movie. So it's not that bad. I felt when I watched the movie, I think I could understand. Even I started watching it believing that I'm going to go ahead and make a rant video on Cuttputlli. But no, it isn't. The best ways to watch Ratsasan is, don't go with very high expectations. Number one. Number two, don't watch. Sorry, don't watching Cuttputlli is. I'm sorry. I'm just say, like, best way to watch Cuttputlli is, don't go with high expectations. Number one. Number two, don't watch Ratsasan before Cuttputlli. Okay, I think these are the two best ways you can watch Cuttputlli, and I think you will be rewarded with a good experience. Now, the cons, yes, there are quite a few negative things about this movie. You see, Ratsasan has two pivotal um, clinch points. There's one scene, I do not want to give a spoiler. It's a very tragic scene, and the second one is, of course, the final climax. I think these two made Ratsasan what it is today, right? It's a cult movie. Ratsasan is a cult movie. Now, those two scenes, they really could not make it so well in Cuttputlli. I was literally waiting for those two scenes. I wanted to see how well they made it. I think it involved the tragic scene involved Akshay, Chandrachud, and even Rishita was there. I think calling Rishita and then dragging the scene up a little bit, I felt it lost the momentum. It's a very important, because you see, when you have got some very important scenes from cult movies and you are copying them, you have to be very faithful. And Akshay, overall, in the whole movie, he really didn't have to do much. Okay, but there were these two or three points where he had a chance to show his acting skills after such a long time. He's doing a movie where he actually got a chance where he could probably portray his acting skills or something. He failed in those two scenes. He really could not do it. There's this meltdown in the car. He shouts and he screams. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. So Akshay, still after so many years, it's very sorry to say that you've still not learned how to act. I'm not going ahead and demeaning you or anything. You are a very, very hardworking actor, and I have no hate towards you. But you still have to work on that skill of acting. Go to Nasir ji, go to Pankaj Kapoor, go to the stalwarts, go to Manoj Bajpayee, talk to them. Because how long will you just accept the fact and you keep on saying that people will hero worship you? In this movie, you had two or three clinch point scenes where you could have done a lot. You failed in those scenes. You've really not been able to deliver that punch in those scenes. And what else? Yeah, in Ratsasan, the backstory of the killer was also explored a little bit. A lot of here, the backstory is not explored that fast. It is kind of um, it's kind of synthesized with the climax. So what happens is that you really don't get to see the backstory of the killer explained so well, explained so elaborately. But yes, the backstory is explained well with some very good, very fast edits, which does work also. I wouldn't say it's bad, but I personally felt that maybe putting a little more time on the backstory would have been good. But then again, the length of the movie had increased because they had brought the tempo down. So I believe they wanted to just go ahead and punch it with the climax. They wanted to put it in with the climax, attach it with the climax, and explain it at the very end. So backstory was not explored. Even the climax, the climax of Ratsasan is like, it's like movie magic. We still marvel over the climax with the BGM score and everything. Here the climax is kind of long drawn out and everything, and they put in a little bit of, I would say, I think they put in a little bit of Red Dragon also, when the way Akshay provokes him at the end to attack him. But I think it was overall good. Akshay did not do all those stunt kicks and all those things with the. It was a very normal, natural, organic fight, and I think even the climax was not that bad. But I think to a Ratsasan fan, the climax will not work because we watched something so awesome like that. So they could have done it a little better. They could have worked on the climax a little more in Cuttputlli. Overall, my view is Cuttputlli is a decent watch, definitely. And best way to watch it, again, I told you, go with very low expectations and don't watch Assassin before watching Cuttputlli. Otherwise, it will spoil your experience. Otherwise, it is definitely watchable. Not with your kids. It has got very graphic, gory scenes, and they have not shied away from showing it. That's something I liked. Again, they did not try to put in a kind of a PG-13 thing, like take the camera away from the body while they're showing the wounds and the way the killer is killing the girls and everything. No, they have made it very graphic. They have made it very true to life. They said, no, we are making a serial killer movie, so we will be true to a serial killer movie. So I like that regarding the forensics and everything. And that was also one good thing. um, in my opinion, I think it is a good copy. It is a good copy. They could have done much better, but it is a good copy. I would give it a 3.5 stars. um, you can watch it with, and I think with your family and everybody, but not your kids. They shouldn't be there. Your mom and dad can watch it. Akshay fans will love it. Akshay fans will love it. Akshay fans will love this movie. And finally, what I think, Akshay Kumar has missed a hit. I think if it was released in the box office, it was released in the theaters, this movie would have done very good business. It would have been a sleeper hit. It wouldn't have made massive money, but Akshay Kumar, if he had actually worked on his fees and he said, no, I will not take so much, I will take this much, and I will take a percentage of the profits, I think this movie would have worked and this movie would have made money, because there are a lot of Akshay Kumar fans. They are crazy about him, and this is the kind of movie Akshay Kumar should do. I mean to say, these are the kind of roles which he should do. These kind of underdog roles. This will fit him well with his age and with his acting skills and everything. But again, he needs to concentrate on his acting. His acting still hasn't improved after so many years, and it's very glaring. So that's it. Cuttputlli, 3.5 stars. Go ahead, watch it in Hotstar. Enjoy. Bye.